Is anyone gonna go waltzing in the garden? Is anyone gonna go dance up on the roof?
And welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to, well, put a smile on your face.
And make friends with you on the air.
And maybe sing.
And sing, and then talk of fashions.
And improve
bathing
your
suit
home.
fashions, and life,
and life.
Yeah.
I'm Cindy Dolan.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And that's that nut, Eric Stromer.
Yeah.
You like container gardens, don't you?
Boy, do I ever.
Aren't they
I'm really,
fun?
you know, I got to be honest with you. I'm getting into it more than ever because of you. You've inspired me because you're a home wizard.
It's because of the show. Because we like to talk about things.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of I realize that it's accessible, it's easy to do. Even someone like myself who's not traditionally been a great garden person, and now I'm really
You're it.
becoming that.
You
I'm
are.
getting some confidence, and I took
Yeah.
some baby steps,
See?
and here I am.
See?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, so we were out shopping, and you got a couple of containers with some succulents in there.
You know it. I got a good deal, didn't I?
You got a good deal.
You and I were at the fountain store. I
Yeah.
found a great ceramic blue pot with a bunch of succulents for
It's
what
a
was
glazed.
it,
It
$30
was
or something.
It was a
wasn't
glazed container,
Oh,
beautiful. And the key, I mean, there's so many great things you can consider, but the color of the container and how it plays with the color of the plant
Makes all the difference. And then the little rocks that came in it, the little green jade color
that
rocks.
used to be there. You didn't notice it's gone now. I
You
took them.
my stones. I knew it.
I took your decorative glass. No,
Man.
I didn't. I'm very tempted. though.
Coveter.
So anyway, I thought we'd talk about just kind of a guide to get started with your container plantings for the summertime, because it's great to bring a bunch of them to the patio, to the deck, to wherever you are, to your front door. And what I love about it is that it's an instant bulletproof garden. And
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's small.
And you, not only just, regular traditional succulents or smaller plants, but vegetables and fruit even.
So whether you live in an apartment or you live in a house, you have all you have is a small deck, and you want to add a little pop of color to the patio, to the larger house. I mean, growing and maintaining plants in these pots really is a great successful way to liven up your surroundings. So a few things just to consider, and then we'll talk about some design ideas. But the main thing is containers. You want to make sure that you pick the right container, not only that it's a pretty container, but that it's going to not take all the water out of it. And the terracottas, while they're the least expensive, they're probably the least effective, because the water just goes right out. It just goes right out. And,
Is that right?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
And you end up watering more often, wasting water. And because it's like a sieve, it just spitting it out. And you want something that kind of holds a little more moisture in there so that the roots are going to thrive better.
But not holding so much moisture that there's no drainage hole.
You don't want,
and I'll tell you what happened today. So every week, I take my house plants out. Okay.
Take them from your house.
Take them outside. I water them on the lawn,
Uh-huh.
and I give them. And I took your advice with the 3. You fill it up 3 times. You fill it up, it drains. You fill it up again, it drains. You fill it up a 3rd time, it drains. Sufficiently watered. However, the what's the one that they sell? The Asian looking one, the flower. The Trader Joe's that sells.
Orchid.
The orchid.
Thank
yeah.
you. It sounds like.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a game show. No, so I have an orchid in a beautiful wood container that was given to us for a present.
And it did not
have a drainage hole.
And it's now rotting.
Well, not only that, but I put it back in the house after 2 hours, and it just slowly kept leaking onto the floor. It's not the good. It's not the thing.
Let it dry out. And orchids actually are better if you almost abuse them. Just ignore them for a while.
Is that right?
And then it'll start to regrow. But in terms of for your container gardens outside, a trick for the drainage hole, after you know that you've had the hole that's in there, because sometimes you might be fooled. You get a container and you come home and you go, "Oh my gosh, there was no hole in the bottom," right?
Right.
I take a chip of a terracotta pot. We save old terracotta pots, and then they break very easily into little chunks, like 2-inch by 2-inch chunks, and you layer 2 of them across each other over the hole before you put the soil in and the plantings in, because that's going to slow down the drainage. It's not going to prevent the drainage, but it's going to keep the water in just for a few more seconds, so that the soil and the plants have a chance to get the nourishment.
That's a good idea.
You don't like it?
No, I do. I love it. I
want to hear a little more enthusiasm.
I'm thinking. I'm visualizing as you're saying this.
Yeah, it's something. It's a trick to do. It's a great little thing to put those.
I got to tell you, the plants that I bought for the house. It's my first foray into the house plant world. I bought them about probably 3-4 months ago. They're doing great, and it's the secret is you water them once a week, and you really drench them, and you let them drain, and then you put them back in the house. Man, they perk right up.
So let's talk about outdoor container pots, because there is a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, because the outdoor ones are getting the fresh air, they're getting the sun or the shade, and they're going to need more water than their in-house plants, right?
Yeah.
But after you've picked a container, and I vote, I love terracotta because it is inexpensive and it's attractive, and it's fun to do things like you put yogurt on the outside, and it gives it this instant moss look. You can do really decorative things.
Hold on, wait a minute. What?
You've done that before, haven't you?
No.
You get a terracotta. You have too.
I have not. What are you talking? Talk to me about this.
Okay, now that you've got this pond, you want a mossy look. You get yogurt. You just put yogurt on the outside of your pot.
That's it?
And because of the yeast, it starts to grow moss on
Are
the
you
outside.
sure it's not mold?
It's moss.
It's moss?
It's really cool. Green,
really?
Real green fuzzy moss.
On a terracotta pot.
On a terracotta
put yogurt on it.
And keep it in the shade, and it's
done.
And it's going to look really cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never known that.
So anyway, after besides having a terracotta with the moss thing, I think you might want to pick some other containers that'll like the glaze pot keeps.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Keeps the water in.
Is it fruit yogurt or plain yogurt?
Plain.
You don't put the fruit one on there.
No. Greek yogurt. So here's some decorative things. Now you have the basics of containers. So for the summertime, I like the idea of having some mint around, and why not make a container chandelier for your outdoor living experience?
Okay.
Is this a cool idea?
Yeah.
So basically you're going to get some old pots, maybe about 4 of them, and then you're going to get some wire and weave it around the lip of the pot again, and then you're going to put mint in all of these pots, and make sure again that there's a drainage hole, in the bottom.
Yeah.
And now you can then with the wire that's that's wired around the lip, you can then hang them from above, and it's secure by twisting each end to, I don't know, you might have a hook on it or a tray or something. Isn't that kind of cool?
That's really cool.
And now you're going to smell the mint while you're sitting outside.
Now I got to tell you a little something about mint.
It's evasive.
No,
and invasive.
Well, I pulled some mint out of my garden,
and
put it in a pot, boiling water
for
10 minutes.
Oh, this is your cooking tip.
Then I drain the mint out, cool the mint liquid, obviously, and then
you're having a mint julep?
No. Then I added 4 green tea bags.
Oh, nice.
For about, let it steep for a couple of minutes, and then put it in the fridge. Next day, iced tea, fresh mint iced tea, green, antioxidant rich, delicioso.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And inexpensive.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about, since we only have a couple more minutes, a couple more container ideas. Actually, this is a floating plant that looks like a container. We love our succulents, but you can get these moss spheres that are pre-made, or you can make your own. It has wires in the center, and then it's wrapped with the sphagnum moss.
Okay. Yeah.
But you could buy one already. Just it's a little, looks like a Christmas tree ornament, if you will, made of moss. And you just take the little baby succulents, the hens and chicks kind that don't grow very tall. They stay very tight to the surface, and you just take little baby parts of these hens and chicks and poke it through every half an inch in this little moss ball, and so now you can hang it like it's a Christmas tree ornament.
Almost like a moss ball, succulent ball.
It's a floating succulent ball.
That is amazing.
And
That's
looks
a
great
idea.
in a part shade, part sun area, and to add to your container delight.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it sounds great.
And you have to have a little hint of citrus. You were talking about mint in your tea.
Yeah.
If you don't already, make sure you get a little, whether it's a mandarin orange or I like lime and lemon, but get like a twosome so you have bookends, and put that by either side of your door or by your patio, and it's going to add so much to your summer experience.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Love it.
Anyway, we hope you had fun listening to us. Make sure you go to the website. You can join the conversation throughout the week, or Facebook, and we're gonna have more pictures of Eric's pond making experience up there on the site. Just go to yourhomewizards.com. Yeah?
Yeah, and also Crocs, Speedo, suspenders.
Oh, that's the
very
look.
Large floppy hat. Wait till you see it. Glorious.
We want the pictures.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember this, until next time, the key is under the mat. Bye-bye, everybody.
I'd say that was a pretty successful broadcast.